What happens when a multi-million-dollar supercar is seized by the government and then simply forgotten? While the headlines focus on the arrests, the assets often disappear into climate-controlled evidence vaults for years, or even decades. In these silent warehouses, cars that were once the pinnacle of performance become accidental time capsules. In our previous investigations, we focused on the crime, but today we are doing something different. We are looking at the archaeology of the vault, from a Ferrari F512M recovered in 2024 after 28 years in hiding to a $23 million dictator fleet that sat in Swiss storage until it became a 0-mile vintage collection. This is the Forgotten Evidence Vault Part 2. On September 27, 2019, the world caught a rare glimpse of a frozen collection. 25 luxury cars seized from Teodoro Nyema Obiang Mangay were rolled out of a high-security Geneva warehouse for a no-reserve auction. This wasn't just a group of used cars. Because they were seized years prior during a corruption probe, they had been sitting in storage since 2016. The star was a white Lamborghini Veneno Roadster, one of only 9 built. When it was finally uncovered, it had delivery mileage. It wasn't a car anymore. It was a $8.4 million factory wrapper relic. Alongside it sat a Koenigsegg 1-to-1, one of just 7, and a Bugatti Veyron. Because these cars were caught in a legal stalemate for years, they bypassed the driving phase of their lives entirely, selling for a total of 23.4 million Swiss francs. In March 2024, the Metropolitan Police's Organized Vehicle Crime Unit announced a recovery that shocked the F1 world. In 1995, during the San Marino Grand Prix, Ferrari driver Gerhard Berger watched a thief drive away in his personal Ferrari F512M. For 28 years, the car was a ghost. It had been exported to Japan shortly after the theft and was only rediscovered in late 2023 when it was shipped to the UK for an American buyer. The status: when police seized it, they found a time capsule. Despite the decades, the car remained a pristine, low-mileage example of the final Testarossa evolution. At a value of nearly $444,000, it is proof that once a car enters the shadow market, it can remain a forgotten masterpiece until a single pre-purchase inspection triggers the FBI's alert system. According to the IRS Criminal Investigation 2025 annual report, the agency identified over $10.5 billion in financial crimes this past fiscal year. But the real discovery for car enthusiasts is how those assets were stored. IRS-CI special agents executed a 25% increase in search warrants in 2025. In many cases, they didn't find cars being driven, they found liquid assets on wheels. Because these cars were purchased with laundered cryptocurrency to hide wealth, owners often kept them in factory-sealed condition in private warehouses to avoid drawing attention. When the IRS raids these crypto vaults, they are finding fleets of Porsches and McLarens that have never seen a public road, waiting to be auctioned off to pay back the $100 million returned to crime victims this year. Not every vault find is a supercar. In February 2026, a cultural artifact made headlines in Sweden. This is the 1984 Saab 900 GLI Police. In the 80s, these were the workhorses of the Swedish Police Academy. Most were crushed or driven until they collapsed, but this specific car was forgotten in the Swedish Defense Materiel Administration's surplus lot. It was rediscovered and restored to such a level that in 2025, it actually escorted the King and Queen of Sweden during the royal rally on the island of Åland, selling for an estimated 160,000 Swedish kroner in early 2026. It is the ultimate survivor, a car that was meant to be a tool of the state but became a royal time capsule. In one of the most high-tech stings of 2025, federal agents in Maryland seized a collection of cars that were too good to be true. Brothers Kamal Khalid and Fnous Shahrukh were sentenced on September 26th for a massive odometer rollback scheme. They were using digital tools to erase an average of 124,000 miles from every vehicle. When the FBI seized their inventory, they didn't just find cars, they found a graveyard of faked time capsules. This case forced a change in federal law regarding digital forensics. Now, the government uses logic module scanning to verify that the car in the vault is as new as the dashboard claims it to be. We conclude with the car that every government agency in the world is watching, Bugatti chassis number 57453. As of 2026, experts have officially valued this ghost at $114 million. This is the original La Voiture Noire. It was put on a train in 1941 to escape the invasion of France and never arrived at its destination. Because it is technically stolen war property, it falls under the HEAR Act. This means that if it is found in a barn or a basement today, it doesn't matter who owns it, it is a preemptive FBI seizure asset. It is the world's most valuable factory wrapper find, hidden by history, awaiting the moment it finally enters the light. Make sure to subscribe to join our first 2,000 investigators. Which of these forgotten cars would you bid on? Let me know in the comments below.